Hi everyone, it's Tony here with Nerds Never Sleep, and it's time again for another weekly roundup. That's right, this is the time of the week where I bring you in, show you all the statues, figures, and collectibles that I highlighted on the channel over the past week using things like YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikToks, and photo galleries across various social platforms. Now, this week, as you can see, we are still in the middle of spooky season, so I had some spooky Halloween and just kind of cosplay adjacent figures to show off. Except there is one noticeable thing that is lacking, and I know I did hear about it. We didn't have any husbandos this week, and I know, guys, for Figure Friday, I was actually gonna do a Jujutsu Kaisen piece, but I had to bring another horror lady on board. So I am a figure short this week because of the way I'm kind of trying to shift the channel around right now. Things are kind of getting a little behind and convoluted. So we're going to probably have most weeks be 5 figures instead of 6. So until we can kind of get back into the swing of things and get a more cohesive schedule back on the page. But with that being said, as you can see, I had some really amazing pieces. And for those of you who just follow here on YouTube and wonder where these were, I did actually start posting the short form content to a shorts channel called Nerds Never Sleep Caffeine Rush. Now, I will get into that at the end of the video when I talk about page updates, but let's not get into that for right now. Let's start out with the figures. So I started out the week with a banger of a Miku that, again, may or may not have gotten seen by many people due to her costume. Yes, it is a bunny girl, but if you go with a Halloween theme, bunny girls definitely fit because you do see a lot of Playboy bunnies out on Halloween. So we have this amazing bi-cute bunny Rurudu, I believe it's pronounced, Miku. Now, this is a Miku that's been designed by a Japanese artist, and this is the bunny girl that came out in that style. Now, I absolutely adore this bi-cute bunny Miku, and I think she is now one of my favorites in the bi-cute bunnies line. I like that she doesn't really have the classic bunny girl ears. It's kind of more like little loops. I love the translucent hair. She's doing the little finger heart. The heels, like everything about this one looks absolutely incredible. Even the look on her face is definitely a different look for Hatsune Miku, whereas usually she's depicted as more cheery and upbeat, and this one she looks kind of a little almost shy. And I really, really dig it. I love the entire look of the figure. The sculpt, the body, everything on it is very, very well done. And I do appreciate that they didn't over-exaggerate certain assets, so to speak, just because she's in a bunny girl costume. All in all, she is one I highly, highly recommend if you have not checked her out already. Now, going into the center here for Twin Tuesday, showing off all these lovely ladies to you in celebration is, of course, the Witch of Greed, Echidna from ReZero. Now, this is one of the OG figures of Echidna from the now, I think, kind of resurging EXQ line, because I have been seeing some EXQ figures go up for pre-order now, so they may be bringing this line back. As you can see with this one, she does have a base. She actually does not need the base. It just kind of elevates her a little bit higher. You can actually display her without the base because her dress kind of creates a balance and base for her. I really do like this one, and I like that instead of giving her like a straight black dress, it almost has like a brownish kind of hue to it, and I think it makes it stand out a little bit more. It's almost like I don't want to call it a dark chocolate color, but that's kind of what it reminds me of. I love the hair sculpt. They use the translucent plastic, everything like that. Her butterfly in her hair looks really, really great. And instead of using a solid plastic, they did use a translucent piece, so it is a little see-through. Her kind of happy, cheery face, all of it looks really, really great. And it's just kind of a different look, especially since more of her newer pieces kind of have her just in a more serious kind of straight up and down pose. So this is definitely one that does stand out as far as the echidnas go. If you can track it down, she is an older one. I do definitely recommend getting this one. And hopefully we'll get a re-release, because I think I saw some screenshots of another listing for her. So keep your eye out. And for Waifu Wednesday, during spooky season, who are you going to call? Well, you're going to call the Ghostbusters. And since I don't have any of the actual Ghostbusters figures themselves, we're going to go with the waifu Ghostbuster, Lucy, from the Kotobukiya Bishoujo line. Now, this is one that slipped under a lot of people's radar because the Bishoujo weren't exactly as popular back when she came out as they are now. People stuck to their basic Marvel lines, their DC lines, things like that. But there were a couple of offshoots, some random pieces, like the Ghostbusters Lucy and the Agent G from Men in Black. These kind of, again, fell under people's radars. And when I post them, people go absolutely berserk for them and want to know everything about them, where they are, where I got them, how much they cost. So I do wonder if in the future, since Koto is doing so many reprints, that we will see another Lucy in the future. But this is just a phenomenal piece. I dub her part of the horror line, even though she isn't technically part of the horror line. I believe back then they were calling it the Icons line, but it only went with her and the Men in Black one and then just kind of stopped. And then we ended up getting Freddy and Jason after that, which kicked off the horror line. So I do consider Lucy and the Ghostbusters to be the horror type, horror adjacent line because, you know, it is a ghost movie, but is a ghost comedy technically. So she does fit in very well. The piece itself is absolutely gorgeous. I know it's a bigger base than what I typically like, but they did have the details of the ghost sewer trap there. They have the ghost trap on the ground. It looks like concrete. She's got her proton pack. Everything about it is great. She does have the uniform. It is burned in some creative places, so there is some battle damage. Don't know what these ghosts were trying to do to her, but, you know, hey, whatever. She is just an absolutely beautiful piece, and if you can get your hands on one, I highly, highly recommend her. So for that time I got Reincarnated Thursday, I went back to another one, just like with the previous week, that does surprisingly well on every platform I post, and I'm not sure why. Maybe because there are not enough pieces of these characters, just like I said last week. So I went with the Demon Golem Guardian of Lady Ramaris herself, Beretta. Now, this is the first version of the Otherworlder figure. The newer version has a more metallic look to the doll body itself. But again, being a base level prize figure, I am super impressed with how well she came out. All the details from the little doll joints in her hands and feet and everything else look really, really good. The sculpt itself is very well done. The hair, no scuffs, no defects, no nothing. All of it looks really, really great. I love how it gave her the kind of frayed kind of cloak, and it just looks like it's in motion. Very, very awesome piece. Almost makes me want to double dip and get the second version of her to see how much difference there really is. But you can't go wrong with either one. I highly recommend it if you are a Reincarnated Slime fan. And obviously, there aren't many figures of her. So be happy we got what we get. And since it was Friday, while not being Friday the 13th, I went with, of course, a horror icon for Figure Friday. with the Kotobukiya Jason Voorhees Bishoujo. Now, this is the version 1 of the piece, which had a lot of people angry with the Freddy and Jason line because of the OG bases. These bases kind of look like a pool of green, or in Freddy's case, a pool of red. The only problem with these bases is they had a very thin magnetic strip, and I'll lift her up real quick. There's a very thin magnetic strip here on the base with some very small magnets on the feet. So these don't have the best balance, these version 1s. The version 2s, they made a straight, kind of almost translucent base that I believe was completely magnetized. So they did fix the problems with the second versions. I know Jason is pretty sturdy. Freddy is very, very wobbly because her feet and magnets are very, very tiny. This altogether is a fantastic piece. And I know you all have probably seen dozens of big name cosplayers cosplay this exact version of Jason Voorhees. This is where the design comes from. I absolutely love it. I love the fact that you know what this character is. She's wearing the iconic mask. She's got the bloody machete. She's carrying an axe. She's got the trench coat on. All the pieces are there, only she's a hot, buff, muscular, big, well-endowed female. Now, again, I can appreciate that they made her a buff mommy because we don't see that in the Bishoujo line. But they still gave her the very pretty features and the look of her face. So it still sticks to the Bishoujo look while making her a muscular, more intimidating looking character. And I absolutely love it. If you guys can get your hand on one of these, whether the version 1 or the version 2, I definitely recommend it. And of course, I did not, as I said before, post a Saturday piece. As I said, I've been trying to retool how I'm doing things on the channel, but I'm going to get into that in one more second. First, I'm going to tell you guys what my picks of the week were. So as you guys know, I always pick a higher end piece and a lower end piece as far as my favorites go. This week, I had 2 higher ends with the 2 Kotobukiya Bishoujos, and man, oh man, let me tell you, this is a hard decision. Jason is one of my tops of the older figures, but the Lucy comes out for me a little bit. She edges out a little bit over the Jason, mostly because of the, I want to say, faulty bases that these original ones came with. Now, I don't have the second versions, so I really can't compare myself. But Lucy, all in all, she was stuck to her base. It's all one piece. Absolutely love it. And she is a piece that every time I highlight her gets a ton of interactivity from the people out there. Jason, she's a hit or miss, maybe because of her costume being too revealing, I'm not sure. But I know that every time I post the Lucy, I get a ton of positive reaction about it. People want to know where I got her again, where she came from, how much is she, where can I buy her? There's all kinds of questions. You get the few, of course, that are like, this is disgusting, this is perverted, whatever. But again, it is what it is. It's social media. So I'm going to have to give my higher end pick of the week to Lucy. Going over to something that's not a very tough choice, and it's going to be my pick of the week for the lower end prize figure type stuff. And it is the no-brainer. It's going to go to the Bunny Girl by Cute Bunny Miku. Absolutely adorable. I love this one. I'm so happy I finally got my hands on her. And again, if you can get your hands on this one, I highly recommend it. But knowing Furyu and the By Cute Bunnies line, we're going to get different variations, different color swaps of this. I think they've already announced a white costume of this one as well. So if you can't get your hands on the black suit bunny, there is a white suit bunny coming. Look up your local online retailers. I'm sure you can find it for pre-order still. And that's going to be it for my favorites of this week. Let me know in the comments what your favorite was and what you guys want to see in the future. Now, speaking of the future, I'm going to give you guys the page news and updates, obviously, that I do at the end of every video. So, if you guys paid attention last week, I had a little bit of a online rant about YouTube Shorts and how they've been a double-edged sword for the channel. And said in my last video that I was going to stop posting YouTube Shorts on this channel. I did stop with this week, which is why a lot of you may not have seen these pieces. It's maybe your first time. So I did start posting to my other channel that I created. Didn't know what I was going to do with it yet. Nerds Never Sleep, Caffeine Rush. It's going to be basically for all my short form content. There's going to be no long form content on that channel. So if you come here looking for the shorts, I'm going to tell you guys, just go over to the other channel and start checking out the shorts there. Definitely going to have some growing pains over on that channel. I think as of right now, there's only 5 subscribers on the channel. 3 of the 6 shorts have got 0 views, but the 2 latest ones, which were these 2 lovely ladies for Thursday and Friday, are both over 1,000 views in the course of a day. So something is finally kicking back up in the algorithm. It's going to take some time, obviously, to get verified, all that stuff. But from now on, the channel is going to be shorts free for the most part. And they're going to go over to Caffeine Rush. So that's it for that update. Obviously, on the weekly roundups, I'm going to be showing you guys all these figures as well, so you still will be able to see all the pieces that I highlighted over the course of the week. As far as what I've done for long-form content, obviously, to my weekly roundup, I had a carryover from a previous week with a Amelia ReZero Kuji figure unboxing that I absolutely adored, and I did a horror Kotobukiya Bishoujo of Leatherface. This is the version 2, aka the Chainsaw Dance version. And check that video out if you want to see some more of these lovely horror ladies. And I actually had been live streaming. I've been going back to my streaming, having a freaking blast. Again, playing some more Metaphor ReFantazio. Game is incredible. I talked about it for way too long in my last weekly roundup, so I will not gush over it again this week. But if you haven't checked it out yet, check the game out, check the demo out, or hey, come over into the live streams, hang out, chat, and check out the game with me, because I have been having a phenomenal time with it. Cannot remember the last time I had such a good time with a game that wasn't an Atlas game. So highly recommend getting the game, or at least checking it out. This week, I'm going to start with another new kind of format to make up for the lack of short form content. So what I'm going to start doing now is, instead of doing a Miku Monday or something like that on this channel, I'm going to unbox some prize figures on the channel. So there'll be shorter videos, obviously, because they're going to be prize figures. And I'm going to edit them so they're a little bit less detailed and less in-depth than my larger and more expensive pieces. So for prize figures, I'm going to show you the box. I'm going to cut all the box open, and then I'm going to pull the cardboard or the plastic out, whatever it is. And then I'm going to literally just do all the plastic and stuff removal off camera and show you guys just it being put together if it needs to be put together, and then showing you the final piece. So there'll be a little bit faster unboxing videos because prize figures don't usually have as much complicated stuff to put together. So I'm going to try to do that just to generate some more content here for the channel for the lack of shorts. So we're going to get prize figure unboxings as well as the fancier stuff. So there will be a larger variety of content to check out here on the channel. And one more thing, I know you guys probably saw the post, if you did, that I started a new project here. It's something I've been talking about doing for a long time. One of the reasons why I haven't wanted to do a room tour, because obviously it is hard to see what's behind me with the lighting in this room. So I did start mocking up lighting in my cases. Obviously, as you can tell here, I am not done yet. So it is a project I'm working on. I got about 390 or 380 feet of lights. So I'm going to be going around all the cases and as well as along the ceiling. So you all will be able to, when zoomed out, see all of the sideshow and larger pieces up top. So when I get that done, I'm going to turn these off. I will do things like room tours, shelfie tours, things like that. But it is going to be a work in progress because as of right now, I'm only taping up the lights just to see where I need to place them all and cut the rope lights. So we'll see how that goes and how far along I get. But I want to make sure I get at least these cases that are behind me in my recordings done so I can have the lights on and kind of make it look a little bit more fancy. But that's going to be it for the very dragged out page updates. I do apologize, guys. Like I said, eventually I'm going to start turning this segment into a live stream segment so we can all interact together as I'm showing off all these pieces. But that's not going to probably come till I'm done with all this stuff. And maybe around December holiday time after I get my new computer, my Stream Deck, all that good stuff. So it's going to be a work in progress. And again, bear with me. It's an ever-evolving channel, and we're going to have some fun while we're doing it. So that's going to be it for this one. If you did like the video, do me a solid. Click the like button, the subscribe button, the share button. Spread the nerdiness. Follow on all the socials. The links are down in the description below. And that's going to be it. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.